I'm on a mission to find out what places in Japan are worth your time. Today we will be visiting Mount Fuji, specifically the area around Lake Kawaguchi, which is one of the most popular places to visit in Japan and hot on the tourist trail. I was curious to know if it really is a must-visit place or a place you should skip with your precious time in Japan. So let's find out. Upon arrival, these were the magnificent views I was granted of Mount Fuji. I couldn't help but think, is this the most beautiful place in Japan? Alright everybody, so we are just arriving in the Kawaguchi area, and the thing about going to Fuji is you never know what you're going to see. It could be cloudy, it could be rainy, it could be terrible weather. Luckily, this is our view right now. Holy crap, holy buckets, that is beautiful. And this is right from our accommodation, which I'm going to check in a second. A little bit out of the way, but near the Fuji area. But that view is unreal, everybody. Checklist already complete. We came here to see Fuji. I guess we'll go home now, but we're going to show you a little bit more in the area. So one of the things I love about Japan is once you get a little bit off the beaten path, you can explore and have shrines all to yourself, especially if you leave the big cities and big touristy areas. Right now we're in Kawaguchi, but we're a little bit out of the way, and we just stumbled upon this random shrine, and it's literally only me and Vanessa here at night. It's not completely lit up, or there's like lanterns or anything, but it's still nice and beautiful and mysterious. You can hear the water trickling from the little area where you wash your hands and mouth before entering your shrine. You can see the beautiful wooden buildings here and a nice Torii Gate entrance. So definitely need to explore off the beaten path when you're visiting any place, whether it's touristy, countryside in Japan, because you'll find these cute little places all to yourself. As night fell, we stumbled upon this cute little deer just wandering around the quiet back streets of Kawaguchi. Sadly, day 2 would not be as great. So as you guys can tell, it is a rainy day here near Mount Fuji, and this is kind of a place where good weather makes or breaks your time here, or so you think, because you want to see Mount Fuji, hopefully ride a bicycle around, get some good views, which we will not be able to do today. We got some good views yesterday, but I'll show you what kind of little things you can do to have an okay rainy day here at Mount Fuji. Spoiler alert, there's going to be a lot of eating, but that's okay. I'm not going to lie, we were definitely devastated with the weather because we wanted to go to the iconic spots to see beautiful Fuji, but we did get lunch at Le Pain de Daniel right near Lake Kawaguchi itself, which is one of the more notable places we eat at. And right behind me is Kawaguchi, which is one of the 5 Fuji lakes, and it's the one that most people visit because it's the closest and easiest to access from Tokyo. But it's still really pretty. There's still lots of mountains covered by the fog, which is really nice to see, although you cannot go to the other side and see Fuji right now. It's so cool to see some beautiful scenic sights here in Kawaguchi area. So as you can tell, even walking around this area, with an umbrella of course, it's still really nice. There's still lots of beautiful traditional Japanese buildings, like this one behind me, and cool little side streets. So it's just worth doing that to get away from the busy areas of Tokyo if you're not going to Kyoto, or even if you're going to Kyoto, just to see another slice of maybe like more of countryside lifestyle, not the big busy cities that a lot of people will see in Japan. So because it's a rainy day and you want to do something cool in the Kawaguchi area, I want to visit a shrine with a row of trees right behind me, as you see. So hopefully that'll stop the rainfall, and you can check out something beautiful and cultural as well. So as you guys can tell, this temple has a beautiful like little lined pathway with these little statues, or not exactly statues, but little like stone things, and they are covered with moss, which is super beautiful. Beautiful, sorry, burping up some of that food I ate earlier. And it goes all the way to the shrine in the back, and has a beautiful Torii Gate right behind us that we entered through. So it definitely feels like my favorite things about Shinto shrines, which makes you feel like you're entering a sort of like different kind of world. Where temples are beautiful, and it's like, wow, I'm like at a big religious place in Asia. Shrines feel mystical, so I definitely think I'm more of a shrine person, here in Japan at least. Also, something I love about the shrine is all the moss that has been collected. I don't know what it is. Makes it feel more old, mysterious. But you can see there's moss growing pretty much everywhere on like the stone structures here. This beautiful Shinto shrine was definitely our saving grace for day 2. The rain did add to the atmosphere, and it was absolutely quiet and beautiful, and a really interesting gem to check out besides just getting views of Mount Fuji, which we were able to do day 1, but sadly, of course, we could not day 2. Let's talk more about that. And now my final conclusion. Is Mount Fuji, the Lake Kawaguchi area, a must visit? Is it worth a visit, or should you skip it? I honestly think you might want to skip it. And maybe / worth a visit, but more towards a place to skip. And here's why. The quality of your visit to Lake Kawaguchi is heavily dependent on the weather, because if it's cloudy and rainy, you're not going to get great views of Mount Fuji, which is pretty much the whole reason for visiting this part of Japan. There are other day trips and places in Japan that still offer great views of Mount Fuji, but have lots of other things to do in the area. It's also oversaturated with tourists who are just there to get those famous pictures of Mount Fuji and the famous destinations versus tourists who are actually trying to experience the place. An example is there's a famous Lawson convenience store right next to Mount Fuji's station, and they actually had to make a mesh barrier to prevent people from lining up around the streets to take this famous photo. So it just shows you how much the tourism has affected this area and what kind of experiences you can expect to see while walking around the area. The whole area itself kind of has a theme park vibe, which maybe that could be cool, but it felt slightly inauthentic, even though I didn't go to the most famous places that probably have this feeling even more. There are gems around the area that are really nice, and that temple, specifically in the forest, was very beautiful, but I wouldn't say a day trip to this area was worth it just for those experiences. Because although Mount Fuji is like a day trip from Tokyo, getting here isn't quite as simple as it might seem. The highway bus is the most popular way of reaching Lake Kawaguchi, and it often sells out during the busy seasons. They also have the Fuji Excursion limited trains, which are very convenient and fast, but same thing, they often sell out as well. Which means you will have to take local trains to get here and transfer, and the total travel time one way is going to be like 2.5 to 3 hours, which is very long for a day trip. Comparing Lake Kawaguchi to some other maybe day trips such as Kamakura and Hakone, I felt like this area was arguably the weakest one. And I can honestly say this because I didn't get great views of Mount Fuji in these other 2 places, although they still offer great views on a clear day, but I had an amazing time exploring all the other things that the areas had to offer. Maybe if I had better weather, I was able to rent a bike, cruise around the lake, go to the famous pagoda and get the iconic view of Fuji or some of the other attractions in the area, my time would have been much better and I would have put it in a worth a visit, or maybe a must visit, although I highly doubt it. And yes, I'm aware I missed out on maybe the more popular places or iconic places in the Lake Kawaguchi area, but it honestly didn't feel like it was worth to visit them in the cold rain, especially without views of Fuji, where the crowds probably still would have taken away from my enjoyment. So I was more curious to see what I could find off the beaten path and visit some of the little gems in the area. But honestly, the Lake Kawaguchi area just doesn't quite stack up to some of the other magical, incredible places I visited in Japan, such as day trips like Kamakura, Hakone, other places like Onomichi, and some other little gems I will be sharing in upcoming videos. So make sure to check those out. So what do you think? Are you visiting Japan soon? Are you looking for day trips from Tokyo? Are you curious to explore more gems outside of these main tourist areas in the country? Let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to check out my upcoming Japan travel content. And before I go, let me introduce myself. My channel's name is Wanderless Wellman, but I'm Noah. I make travel content on Japan, Asia, the rest of the world, aiming to help you understand how to best spend your time, what things are worth it, and what you should do with your precious time and money when traveling. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.